Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn to identify some classical radiological features in orthopedics. So let's begin with the posterior dislocation of hip. So how to identify this posterior dislocation from anterior dislocation? Okay, so here in posterior dislocation there is flexion, adduction and internal rotation, and in anterior dislocation there is flexion, abduction and external rotation. So now the identifying features are, in anterior dislocation we can see the lesser trochanter and greater trochanter both, but in posterior dislocation only greater trochanter is seen. Okay, and in posterior dislocation the head of the femur looks somewhat smaller than the head of the femur which is in place, and in anterior dislocation the head of the femur looks larger than the normal side. Okay, so these are the differences between the anterior dislocation and posterior dislocation. And along with this Fadry deformity, that is flexion, adduction and internal rotation, there is limb shortening. And in anterior dislocation, along with the flexion, abduction and external rotation, there is limb lengthening. And if we correspond this to the tuberculosis of the hip, so this limb shortening, it corresponds to the stage 2 and stage 3 of the TB hip, that is stage of arthritis and stage of advanced arthritis. Okay, and this anterior dislocation of the hip, Fabry deformity, that is where limb lengthening occurs, it corresponds to the stage 1 of the TB hip, that is stage of synovitis. Then the third X-ray image is central dislocation of the hip. So how to identify this one? So there is direct break in the acetabulum and this head of the femur moves centrally. Okay, so it is simple one, that is central dislocation of the hip. Now the next one is vertebral hemangioma, and in vertebral hemangioma we can see the corduroy appearance. So this is corduroy appearance in the vertebral body. Okay, so it corresponds to the jailhouse sign, like the bars in the jail. Okay, so it corresponds to, it is also called as jailhouse sign. And here we can see polka dot sign. So these are the polka dot sign in the vertebral body. Okay, so this is polka dot sign, this is corduroy sign, which is also known as jailhouse sign. Okay, so these are seen in vertebral hemangioma. The next one is the Codman's triangle. Codman's triangle, also there is sunburst appearance or sun ray appearance we can call, and also Codman's triangle. So this one is osteosarcoma. Okay, so here is the osteosarcoma. There is Codman's triangle, it is nothing but the periosteal reaction. Okay, so this triangle is because of periosteal reaction. The next one is Ewing sarcoma. So Ewing sarcoma, there is onion peel appearance. So this is like the peels of the onion. Okay, so onion skin or onion peel appearance. The next one is osteoid osteoma. So in osteoid osteoma there is this central lytic bone and covered by the sclerotic margins. Okay, it is osteoid osteoma, and the very peculiar characteristic of osteoid osteoma is night pain, which is relieved on taking aspirin. Okay, the next one is giant cell tumor, and soap bubble appearance is seen in giant cell tumor. Okay, so this is soap bubble appearance, and the soap bubble appearance is also seen in adamantioma. So in adamantioma is also shows this soap bubble appearance. Okay, and this giant cell tumor occurs mostly after skeletal maturity. Okay, the next one is fibrous dysplasia, which shows Shepherd-Crook deformity. Okay, so this is Shepherd-Crook deformity. There is bending of this neck of femur, and this is because there is transformation of the skeletal bone, skeletal tissue into fibrous tissue. and this fibrous dysplasia also shows ground glass appearance. Okay, so there is ground glass appearance. And Shefford-Crook deformity. The next one is enchondroma. So in enchondroma, these are the most common bone tumors of the hand. So most common bone tumor of the hand is enchondroma, but the most common tumor of the hand is squamous cell carcinoma. Okay, so squamous cell carcinoma is the most common tumor of the hand, but most common bone tumor of the hand is enchondroma. Okay, and when it is single, then it is called as enchondroma, but when there are multiple enchondromas, it is called as Ollier syndrome, and when this Ollier syndrome is associated with hemangioma, then it is called as Maffucci's syndrome. Okay, so single enchondroma, single bone tumor of the hand, it is enchondroma. When they are multiple, it is Ollier's syndrome, and when this Ollier syndrome is associated with hemangioma, then it is Maffucci's syndrome. The next one is osteochondroma. Okay, it is also called as exostosis. So here it basically origins from the metaphysis, and then it moves towards the diaphysis. Okay, so this is diaphysis. So this tumor origin is in metaphysis, but it moves away from the site of the origin, that is towards the diaphysis. Okay, so it is osteochondroma. Then the next X-ray image is simple bone cyst. So in simple bone cyst, it is unilocular, and there is falling leaf sign and trapped door sign. Okay, so falling leaf sign, trapped door sign, and it is unilocular, filled with straw color fluid. Okay, straw color fluid, and it is most commonly in the upper part of the humerus. So most common location is the upper end of the humerus. Okay, so here. The next is aneurysmal bone cyst. This aneurysmal bone cyst, it is multiloculated. So the differentiating points between the simple bone cyst and the aneurysmal bone cyst are, this aneurysmal bone cyst is multiloculated. Okay, so this one, so these are small locules, so it is multiloculated. Simple bone cyst is a uniloculated. Okay, unilocular, and this aneurysmal bone cyst is filled with blood, whereas the simple bone cyst is filled with straw colored fluid. Okay, and this aneurysmal bone cyst is present in metaphysis. Next is Paget's disease. So in Paget's disease, there is appearance of cotton wool. So cotton wool appearance in the skull. Then ivory vertebra, that is the excessive opacity of the vertebra, that is ivory vertebra, and photoframe vertebra. Okay, so this is the photoframe vertebra. So these are the features in Paget's disease. So cotton wool, ivory vertebra, and photoframe vertebra. Next is multiple myeloma. So in multiple myeloma, there is typical appearance of these lytic lesions, that is called as moth-eaten appearance. Okay, so these were some classical features, radiological features in orthopedics. Hope you liked this video. Thank you.